All right, all right, all right. What's going on, guys? Oh, Youngly Junior. I'll be here for a little bit. Just want to go ahead and weigh in. It's Damar Hamlin. Unfortunately, like I said, it was the guys don't know he's an NFL player. He plays for the Buffalo Bills. He was a safety, and he was drafted in the sixth round pick. Um, you know, in 2021 out of Pittsburgh. Listen to Mike Tomlin. He weighed in, and many other individuals too that was in the football world, in the sports community. People from TikTok as well. They was giving their opinions on it. For the most part, I said 90% of it was positive. Man, it was just go ahead and give him his prayers, and we just pray that he makes it through. That's the biggest thing. So watch a lot of football growing up, right? And I understand, we're kind of getting numb to concussions and other injuries that a lot of these players sign up for, right? And some, like I said, I stated previously in my other video, people break their legs and their arms just to put food on the table, to to accomplish their dream. And this is something a lot of them, that's all they know, right? It's football. And respectfully so, you worked your butt off all middle school to Pop Warner, all that, and high school, college, and you made something out of yourself. Even just get into a roster, you get into a practice squad, and you on the actual official roster, and you made it this far, and it's amazing, right? You're able to provide and actually be an influence in your community. It's many other reasons why people play football, man, and actually making to that elite level. And just to see this, man, I was just like, wow, I couldn't believe it, man. And yes, we understand that that was a high anticipated game, but I really did appreciate how the NFL handled this. Well, if the NFL, they people say, okay, it was the players and coaches decision, well, kudos to them too. Because when something like this happened, it's a freak accident, man. You don't expect anything like this to happen, something that's life threatening, and so a lot of stuff is going on. Some people freezes up, some people got to take charge and like, hey, we got to render aid immediately. We got to do this. We got to, So what's best for the emotional stands for these for the people in the community, man. You get what I'm saying? So you gotta, and that's why I really that's what I was saying. Like I really appreciate the medical staff just going out there, man. And people was just getting upset because people who was watching TV all over the world was like, oh, why is it going to commercial? Trying to get that ad money has nothing to do with that, bro. At the end of the day, man. I mean, they didn't want it. It was a little bit graphic, man. And then too, I just got to pass some time. They had to perform CPR on him. They had to resuscitate him. His heart stopped beating. It was cardiac arrest. From my experience, right, working at a hospital back then and for 5 years, just at, this information center, information clerk, right, and just, when you hear, someone, a patient comes in with a cardiac arrest, 9 times out of 10, they don't make it. And I know how serious that was. I know really how serious that was. And so young too, man. He came through some hardships. His mom and, his mom, tried to support him and think his dad had a hard time supporting the family. So he went to, doing drugs. He witnessed his friends getting gunned down, in the community. So gun violence was a big thing. And, football was like a way of life for him. It was just an escape for him. And he dedicated himself to be good at it. And he was pretty good. I mean, to make it to the NFL. And, he accomplished his dream, as a young man. Mike Thomas said he knew him since he was 12 years old. And, Mike Thomas had a lot of connections, men in the game, especially in the Pittsburgh area. He's well known over there, man. And I'm just hearing about this, man. I was just at a rough, man. And we get into like, Skip Bayless when he made a tweet about this. He made previous tweets stating that, oh, my prayers to him. But when he talked about, what about the game and but how I'm probably gonna read that too. I just think that what Skip Bayless did, at that moment was inappropriate. You look at him as a sports analyst, right? That's his profession. And talking about sports and things of that nature, you expect him to be professional. When he says, no doubt the NFL is considering postponing the rest of this game, but how? This late in the season, a game of this magnitude is crucial to the regular season outcome, which suddenly seems so irrelevant. So you when you hear things like this, man, you like, come on, Skip. Like that's not the time, bro. Like it really is when you said, but how this is late in the season, like, come on, man. So This is a man like yes, I can see if he had a concussion, even though that's horrible. But he had a concussion and he walked off, and okay, he's good to go. But he had a cardiac arrest. I mean, that's really unheard of, man, on the football field. Maybe it has happened back in the day, but I haven't recently. No, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, this was really gruesome in a way, man. I mean, he literally died, and they had to revive him. And at the end of the day, man, when it just seems so disingenuous, man. I think that was the biggest thing that was going on. Skip Bayless tweet into everyone's defense, man. I mean, yeah, he should be held accountable for that. Now, do I think he should be canceled? I don't know. I mean, but it kind of is up to us though if we want to do that. But at the end of the day, man, he said, his Fox boss, he ended up cleaning it up on ESPN. But I just want to really go in here and make this video here, just to show the appreciation have for the medical staff, Bengals fans, and Bills and Bengals fans, and the players too as well, in the sports community that like I said, definitely took this to heart, man, seriously, because you had to. This is a young man, at the end of the day, this is a human being, not a toy. You look at this. I hear about this a lot, and you don't want anything this to happen, man, to people, man. For real. I mean, I know this is a game, and a game could be postponed. I'm thinking like, Skip, like you should know this. You've been covering sports for decades, man. Something like this. I mean, maybe you grew up in the era like, okay, individual he gets hit real hard, and then they keep playing, but no, man, like this is a new day and age, man, right now. And on top of that, too, this is a life threatening heart stop. This is something that need to be treated immediately. And I'm just want to say I'm glad that the NFL community they ended up, like I said, postponing this game to further notice. They were not mentally, emotionally ready to continue to play. Reminds me when LA was talking. Well, Donald Parham when he got hit real hard. I think was last year. We went against the Kansas City Chiefs. It was in the end zone. We went for it on fourth down. He caught the pass, but he dropped it later on, and ended up having a severe concussion, had a seizure. And I was like, oh my god, he was out for the whole season, man. And I'm glad to see him back out there. And they had to bring a stretcher out. But I mean, he was alert though, so he was responsive, and then they continued to play the game. But nothing to the extent of a cardiac arrest, man. But I was just like, oh my goodness, man, I couldn't believe it, man. I had to really hold my breath on that, man. So Damar Hamlin, like I said, my prayers. We still praying for you in the Christian community. We want you to pull it through, and it's up to God. So I'm not gonna sit up here and say, oh, he need to stop playing football. Hey, it's up to him and the Lord, to make that decision. You get what I'm saying? So, we go back to all these other nasty injuries, man. Well, it happened with Antonio Brown. He got hit real hard. It's just so many things, man. And I don't think, like I said, football's gonna go away because you look at boxing. People got killed in boxing before, professional boxing back then. And and there's still too much money involved. People still watch it. UFC, people get they, people pay money just to see people fight to the. I don't want to say fight to the death, but pretty much fight. It's like a brutality sport, and people love it. People spend a lot of money on it. You look at Owen Hart, right? When Owen Hart, he broke his neck, and fell from 50 feet down, and Vince McMahon still continued the the pay per view, and I think he handled that situation crazy. Even Stone Cold Steve Austin, he couldn't like, man, I can't continue, bro. Like, and it's unfortunate, man. Like all this stuff, man. I don't know, man. And some people say it could be the bop, the jab. I don't know for a fact, So we don't. I don't know if there's no statistical data on that. You get what I'm saying? So, but I just feel like just making this video here and just show the appreciation here to the medical staff, man, for the Bengals and Bills, and just going out there and just attending him, man, for real. I just couldn't see the look in his face. And Stephon Diggs, man, kudos to him. Good receiver. He went up and, went to the hospital and University of Cincinnati Medical Center to see about his teammate, man. So, which is good. On the GoFundMe page, I think they raised like $1 million, man, which is good. He was giving like toys and stuff to kids and stuff, and he was doing a lot of good things in his community, man. He made a lot for himself, man. I really appreciate him. Some cardiologists said he could probably suffer some commotio cordis, which is often lethal disruption of the heart rhythm that occurs as a result of a blow to the area directly over the heart. So he was to trauma, then it kind of in the critical time during the cycle of a heartbeat. Okay, that's what that is. So when he got hit in the chest, kind of disrupted and just in time, and he just fell out, man. So the cardiac arrest, mm, I can't, his heart just literally just stopped pumping, pumping blood and everything, man. So adrenaline pumping, all this stuff, and it seemed like he was fine and just collapsed. So it just makes me, when like I said, value life, like course a lot more, and it's just crazy, man. You just never know, man. So I think he's still pulling through. He couldn't breathe on his own, so obviously he's on the ventilator, I'm assuming. It's just cardiac arrest on the field, man. I was just, man, that was just nasty, man. I couldn't really believe it, man. And like I said, this game can always be postponed. That's why I understand what Skip Bayless was coming from. Like, bro, it can always be postponed. Like the NFL ain't, they might have some issues, but I mean, they not gonna let that continue, bro. Like they not, bro. That's gonna ruin their reputation, bro. They had to do something. And the ambulance came, and I was just like, man, damn, man. So they're just doing CPR for a long time. So the thing is, though, he was losing oxygen in his brain, and that's the biggest concern. So I'm like, oh my goodness, bro. Like, this might be a while before he can start breathing on his own. And so that's the biggest thing. His vitals are up, but can he, function on his own without this breathing machine? It's gonna be a minute. So we have to think about this, man, too. It said Buffalo safety Damar Hamlin had his heartbeat restored on the field after suffering cardiac arrest during the team's game Monday night against the Bengals, and he is currently in critical condition at a Cincinnati hospital. The chilling scene midway through the opening quarter led to it was in the first quarter, led the league to postpone the game about 90 minutes after kickoff. So the NFL said in a statement Tuesday afternoon that the game would not be resumed this week and that no decision has been made regarding playing the remainder of it at a later date. CPR was administered to Hamlin, 24, on the field for multiple minutes after he collapsed following his tackle of Bengals wide receiver T. Higgins. Hamlin received oxygen, according to the ESPN broadcast, that he was placed in the ambulance and taken off the field. So 16 minutes after he collapsed. Okay, yeah. So they restored everything, his vitals, oxygen, and then they transported him to University of Cincinnati Medical Center. The Bill said in a statement Tuesday afternoon that Hamlin spent Monday night in an intensive care unit at University of Cincinnati Medical Center and remains there Tuesday. Yeah, he's still there. So we are grateful and thankful for the outpouring of the support we have received thus far, the team said. Hamlin's family on Tuesday thanked the public for his support and asked for continued prayers. On behalf of our family, we want to express our sincere gratitude for the love and support shown to Damar during this challenging time. We are deeply moved by the prayers, kind words, and donations from fans around the country. That's good. That's a blessing right there. The family said in a statement released Tuesday morning. We also want to acknowledge the dedicated first responders and healthcare professionals at the University of Cincinnati Medical Center who have provided exceptional care to Damar. Um, we feel so blessed to be part of the Buffalo Bills organization and to have their support. We also want to thank Coach Taylor and the Bengals for everything they've done. Your generosity and compassion mean the world to us. Please keep Damar in your prayers. We will release updates as soon as we have them. The majority of the Bills team remained at Paycor Stadium well into Monday night. Most of the team departed shortly after midnight and returned to Buffalo. Oh, okay. So, okay, most of them returned back to Buffalo. Okay. I'm pretty sure they went to go see him. Yeah, the injury took place after Hamlin tackled Higgins. Yeah, following the Bengals wide out reception over the middle near midfield. I think it was like a 13-yard reception. Higgins led with his right shoulder and hit Hamlin in the chest. Yeah, and Hamlin quickly got up afterward, was on his feet for about 3 seconds, and then abruptly he just collapsed. Your athletic trainers came out to help immediately. Hit him in the right chest and his right shoulder in the chest, man. So in the stretcher that was brought out on the field, and the trainers protected his head. The entire Bills sideline surrounded Hamlin as he received care. Multiple Bills players were visibly distressed and comforting one another as athletic trainers cared for him. Many players turned away from watching Hamlin in distress. The first attempt to move Hamlin resulted in him being brought back down to the field, but he was ultimately placed into an ambulance, which left the stadium about 9:25 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and headed to the hospital. So Hamlin's family came down from the stands to be with him in the ambulance. After Hamlin exited the field, Bills players knelt together in a circle and then they returned to the sideline, with the defense heading back on the field to resume play. So the Buffalo wide receiver Stephon Diggs called everyone over for a word. However, instead of resuming play, Bengals coach Zach Taylor walked over to Bills counterpart Sean McDermott, who's the coach, and met with the game's official president. So the decision was then made to temporarily pause the game, which the Bengals were leading 7-3 before the league ultimately chose to postpone it. What was most important was that it wasn't about proceeding with the game. NFL Executive Vice President of Football Operations Troy Vincent said during the conference call, Frank and that expect never crossed my mind or their mind internally. We asked that referee Sean Smith communicate with both Taylor and Coach McDermott, getting the players together. Frankly, it was just about getting a pulse of where they were at that particular time. Yeah, they had a hard time getting a pulse, man. God, like I said, like I said, the Lord is gonna work. Like I said, we have the Christian community, a lot of communities praying for him. There's people watching this too, and people that's not even fans of football. This is like national news, man. Like I said, praying, and we got some chaplains out there too. We got the medical staff, and I want to say this too. It was a video of Hamlin. Used with the Buffalo Bills and stuff. He was they said they have the DB prayer. And that touched my heart, man. You know what I'm saying? The DB prayer is really good, man. They pray before they have a game and stuff. For all the corners and defensive backs, man, they come together and pray, man. You always pray like, hey, of course you want to have a good outcome, but you also too you want to pray, no injuries, no life-threatening injuries, man, every single day, man, because you putting yourself out there, it's just entertain others, man, and and represent the city, represent the state, man. So it's very spiritual right there. I'm gonna continue reading on ESPN. It says Vincent said there was no discussion between him and Commissioner Roger Goodell about a 5-minute period for players to get warmed up, and that resuming play did not cross their minds. The NFL, PA, and everyone in our community is praying for Damar Hamlin. The union said in a statement, "We have been in touch with Bills and Bengals players, and with the NFL. The only thing that matters at this moment is Damar's health and well-being." So Diggs and Taylor were among those who went to the hospital later Monday night, while some fans gathered outside it as well. So meanwhile, reaction came from across the sports world on social media, with Bills quarterback Josh Allen among those asking for prayers, and he considering his own to Hamlin and his family. Yeah. And it's like I said, it's not T. Higgins' fault, bro. I know he was receiving some death threats. Emotions you can imagine in both locker rooms. And I commend both of those coaches, Vincent said. Tough situation to go back in and look at 53 men in the locker room. And not that they asked, but just tried to calm people down. It was obvious on the phone with them that the emotions were extremely high. It was a very volatile situation. And I thought the coaches they led tonight, they led their locker rooms. The NFL Referee Association said Tuesday in a statement that they fully support the suspension of the game. On behalf of the NFL officials working the Buffalo Bills versus Cincinnati Bengals game last night, we offer our thoughts and prayers for a speedy recovery for Damar Hamlin. And additionally, we commend the emergency medical staff and doctors who quickly responded on the field to Damar's serious health issue. Like the players and the coaches, our officials fully supported the suspension of this game, as all attention needs to be focused on Damar's health. Hamlin was selected in the 6th round 2021 NFL Draft, number 212 overall pick. He has been starting the Bills since the season. Place of injured safety, Micah Hyde. Yeah, I remember Micah Hyde. Yeah, who has been on injury reserve since suffering a neck injury in week 2. Man, golly. Hamlin entered Monday to tie for the second most tackles on the team, and he has one forced fumble, 1.5 sacks this year, making 13 starts. Bill defensive coordinator Leslie Frazier recently indicated that Hamlin had developed over the course of the season, including noting in the past a couple of weeks that he has stepped up more as a vocal leader and improved as a tackler, with a lot thrown on his plate quickly after he had to step in for Hyde. In that same week 2 game against the Tennessee Titans, in which Hyde was hurt, Hamlin close friend and former college teammate Bill's corner Dane Jackson was taken off the field with a neck injury. Wow. So Jackson missed one game. I didn't know that. Dane Jackson was taken off a neck injury. Hamlin has a foundation called Chasing M's that has been raising money for a toy drive. His stated goal was $2,500, but by Tuesday afternoon, donations had surged to nearly $4.5 million. So yeah, so it was donations of $4.5 million for a toy drive. Man, that's a lot of money. That's good. That's really good. Stated to go. One of the nation's top cornerbacks in the class 2016 out of McKees and Rocks, Pennsylvania, Hamlin chose to play for Pitt over Ohio State and Penn State. So he delivered, becoming a 3-year starter and one of the most reliable players on a defense that required much from him at the safety position. In his final season at Pitt in 2020, Hamlin was a second team All ACC selection. He led the Panthers with 67 tackles and 7 pass breakups. After Hamlin was drafted, Pitt coach Pat Narduzzi, he's got the heart. He's got the leadership. I mean, our entire defense revolve around him. Damar will go up there, show his skills off. I think he's so versatile, man. So, that's like a little biography about him. So like I said, we want the best for him. Seriously, bro, you put your life on the line for this, man. Like I said, prayers up to him, man, and that's pretty much all I got to say, man. And then I just want no disrespect, man. I mean, you got. I'm not trying to do all this disrespectful comments and all this stuff, man. I'm not entertaining that. Not, we don't know if it's jab. We don't know none of that stuff, man. At the end of the day, we know it's he's in critical condition at this moment, man. So, but I believe he's going to get better. I believe he's going to get better, man. And what's the future state of sports, violent sports? I don't know. In the NFL, we don't know. I mean, like I said, it's a lot of money involved. So we have to really see what's going to move forward. Like I said, I looked at Skip Bayless' apology. I listened to it. It is what it is, man. I just don't feel like, he just all he could have just said, hey, prayers to Hamlin, man, and just kept that personal stuff to himself. But why would you go out there and just tweet that, man? Like, you literally had to have that thought to do that, So it seemed, like I said, insensitive, and it just wasn't right, in that moment. So, I mean, who cares about a damn game, man? These are human beings at the end of the day, man. So, um, like I said, I just pray and hope for the best. Like I said, I know what God can do at the end of the day, man. And I just want to appreciate the medical staff, the sports medicine people for actually updating us and giving us information, to everyday people, man, that might not, know too much about, the medical procedures, and at least give us some information, man. So for the most part, from what I have seen on TikTok, Twitter, people were okay. People were going ahead, and they were very appreciative to the medical staff and supportive to the family. It's like a brother to us, man. At the end of the day, man. So this is somebody's son, is somebody's nephew. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, he did a lot, for this community. We don't know also too what he do behind closed doors. At the end of the day, man. You know what I'm saying? So, um, you know, I think that, like I said, they responded appropriately in this particular moment, man. Seriously. So, just like I said, my thoughts and prayers, praying. Please, I just want the community to continuously pray, and just not forget about this thing, man. And we'll see what's gonna happen in the foreseeable future, man. I think they're gonna play out in week 18, because I know it's important, because you got a lot of these players that work really hard to them to get to the playoffs, and they be working all season. So I doubt that they're gonna cancel the whole NFL season, but it's gonna be a little different though. So I hope he pulls through, man. Seriously. But that's all we have to say, man. You guys continue to like, comment, subscribe, share this video. Seriously. Thank you for my bowl crew. I just want to say appreciation to the medical staff again, the Bills fans, the Bills organization, the Bengals organization as well, and the fans that were there, spent their money and stuff. I'm pretty sure they get reimbursed or something. The NFL worked that out. People pay their money to go to the game, but at the end of the day, man, it's right. I hope they be all right, So I just don't even imagine if his mom felt his mom was at the game, his family's at the game. Like, dang, it's messed up, bro. So, I mean, he was just walking good and fine, man. It just that freak accident happened. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on that, man. So I'm done with like I said, Skip Bayless thing. It is what it is. That man said it. Compliments hard, but at the end of the day, man, we live in an era right now. Like, you can't be saying stuff like that, bro. Like, it's just, like I said, it didn't seem right, and I was disappointed in him. It's people that look up to him, and they want to be a sports analyst, but you coming out and tweeting that, bro, like right after this, like, come on, man. The NFL can do that. They can post. I mean, they can go ahead and postpone mini games if they wanted to, man, and they made the appropriate gesture. Who cares if this was? I don't care if it's a damn Super Bowl, bro. Like, this is important. This is somebody's life. At the end of the day, man, a game can always be rescheduled. He should know that. So But that's all I have to say, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate you. I'm probably gonna go live a little bit later. I might take a little break on the sports for a little bit, man. Till I get some more updates and some good news, hopefully. Man, that my man Damar Hamlin is okay. For real. So y'all like, comment, subscribe, man. Share this video. I just don't want this to happen to any other players, any other professional athletes or athletes in general, people in general, man. Just seeing that, I couldn't even imagine, bro. Like what was going through their heads, man, in their minds. Like, wow, like this really happened. So, oh, goodness gracious, man. So, um, yeah. So, yeah. Like, comment, subscribe, share this video. I'm out. It's your boy Young Lee Jr. I love you guys, man. Deuces.